Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday, so make sure if you are new here that you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button because you need to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of crypto. Let's take a look at what's going on. First of all, we have seen Bitcoin have an extreme bounce here, so we will be analysing the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum at the end of today's stream, but just taking a look at the prices quickly here, we can see Bitcoin is at $26,653, up 3.51% within the last 24 hours. A quick change from the percentage change that we were looking at yesterday. And Ethereum has done something similar, up 2.32% to 1,860. So there's big smiles on our faces all over again. Now we will be talking about what's been going on with the news. It's been absolutely crazy this week. So we will be discussing all of that today, and then we will be taking a look at the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's get straight into it. First of all, let's take a look at what's going on with Binance. Since that came first, we'll just go in order of what's been going on here. So let's see what's been going on with Binance. First of all, we have seen that the US charged Binance and CZ with securities law violations. Now, we all know this, and this was Monday's news here, but just to refresh our memory, they are saying that they have both broken securities laws, both the CEO, CZ, and Binance as a cryptocurrency exchange. There have been 13 charges, one of which being that the SEC alleged that CZ and Binance secretly controlled the operations of Binance.us through Binance, while publicly claiming that the entity was a separate and independent platform for US investors. They've also said that Binance let some high-value US clients continue to trade on the Binance.com platform instead of using Binance.us. So we all know the problems around regulation within the US. This is the charge that has been announced against Binance and CZ in the last couple of days. Now, we already know that Binance have responded to this. Let's see where that response is. So we are looking at this one here. Binance has responded to this saying they were trying to work with the regulators and negotiate a settlement before the SEC decided to sue and make this public. Now, Binance have looked at this and they've actually said, let me know if everything's running smoothly on the stream. Let me know if there's any problems there. It looked a bit funny then. Binance have responded to this problem and said, it seems based on these developments that the SEC's goal here was never to protect investors. If that were truly the case, the staff would have thoughtfully engaged with us on the facts and in our efforts to demonstrate the safety and security of the Binance.us platform. And the big punch that they've given here is the SEC's real intent here instead appears to be to make headlines. And that is the big point that we are looking at there. That is a huge response from Binance. If you want to hear their full response, make sure obviously to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, the best cryptocurrency news provider out there. And while you're there, hit that big blue sign up button and get access to all of our cryptocurrency news courses completely for free. So there's some responses from Binance within that article. It's a very interesting one. We all know the debate between cryptocurrency exchanges and the SEC right now. The SEC is making it incredibly difficult for cryptocurrency companies to survive in the region, pushing them out elsewhere, and therefore forcing the US to fall behind on the curve of adoption. And I imagine in a couple of years' time, the US will be crying out to try and catch up with all of the other regions that have allowed cryptocurrency companies to grow. Let's take a look at the next piece of new. This is all surrounding Bitcoin and Binance right now. So we have seen in response to this, following on from what's happening here, the SEC seeks restraining order to freeze Binance US assets. Now, the SEC seems to be creating a huge amount of fear around the cryptocurrency industry right now, or attempting to. The fact that this has all come out within 1 week with Binance and Coinbase, and they are trying to take extreme measures like this, is creating a lot of headlines right now. And that is what Binance have said they are trying to do. So if that is what they are trying to do, they've achieved it. And they might not have dumped the assets the way they were expecting to, but let's take a look at this article anyway. So the US SEC has now filed documents with the District Court for the District of Columbia seeking a temporary restraining order to freeze Binance.us assets. So this is a really interesting article here. And we could see many people speculate the development today could result in worse outflows from Binance. This is where we see a huge amount of withdrawals from the cryptocurrency exchange, especially the US arm, and ultimately puts the exchange to the test on how solvent it really is. Reacting to these statements, Binance CEO commented, "We will soon see enough." So what's happening here is Binance.US are having huge amounts of outflows and not as many inflows. Their transaction piles aren't really equaling like they usually do. Now, we have seen insolvency tests on Binance before. There's been a huge amount of FUD around Binance Exchange within the last couple of months, and CZ has tweeted about this before. It's good to check that these cryptocurrency exchanges have solvency, have liquidity. So by doing this, it's not going to be a problem. He said we can follow with these transactions. We can make them happen, so there's no concerns here. But what's really happening here is the SEC is going after Binance hard and publicly, and Binance are trying to put a lid on all the FUD and keep control of what's going on and look at this in a realistic way. So continuing with this news, we've seen that Bitcoin has seen a V-shaped recovery towards $27,000, and this is to do with the SEC now suing Coinbase as well. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll take a look at the reaction Bitcoin and Ethereum have had from both of these cases that have come out this week. As I said, it's been a turbulent week in cryptocurrency, but it's been quite an exciting one. I like to see volatility in the markets. I like to see us testing levels of previous resistance, and I like to see us building new levels of support. Every time we go down, we build more levels of support. The price has been pretty exciting recently. We've been in like a pretty broad and pretty consistent range for a couple of months with Bitcoin now, and that's what I expected to happen. I expected the markets to kind of quieten down a bit, see some more consolidation. I didn't expect us to continue to moon like we were at the start of the year. So having this little bit of volatility in the markets is getting me pretty excited for what's to come. Although it's not a brilliant news that's causing this volatility, it's causing volatility. We all sort of knew something like this was about to happen later down the line. The faster we can beat these problems and the faster we can move forwards and fight against the problems of regulation within the US, the faster we can continue as an industry and the regulation stops looming over our heads. So the problem that we have here is the regulation within the US is not clear enough. There's no clarity, there's no transparency. So we have seen a draft bill. I mean, the week started off so well. So over the weekend, we saw a draft bill in the US that really separated what the difference between the CFTC is, or well, not what it is, but what cryptocurrency assets the CFTC should regulate and what cryptocurrency assets the SEC should regulate. And that really stops the current overlap that is happening. That draft bill was a massive step forward. It got the ball rolling. It showed that we were going to get more clarity within regulation of cryptocurrencies, or that there is an attempt to do so. And then that came out on Monday. Tuesday, Binance sued. Wednesday, Coinbase sued. Honestly, it started off as a really good week, and we've just been punched up to now. But let's take a look at what's going on in the chat. If you are watching on any platform that is not YouTube, we are currently streaming to Twitter, to Binance Live, and to nowhere else at the moment. We will soon be streaming to Instagram and TikTok. If you are on any other platform, make sure to go to our YouTube channel at Crypto Saving Expert. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and give us a comment in the bottom as well. I really appreciate it because it does really help. In fact, whatever platform you're on, just comment on the video, like it if you can, and just show some support to the algorithm, because if the algorithm picks it up, it will push the video out to more people. We do these live streams every single day, and the more people we can show the cryptocurrency news to, the more the industry will grow and the more we will see adoption, and that is what we are all after here. Let's be honest. We want to see adoption of the cryptocurrency space, and with that, let's have adoption of Crypto Saving Expert as well, the best cryptocurrency website out there. All you need to do is go over to cryptosavingexpert.com, press that big blue sign up button and create an account, and then tick that box as well, and you get access to a newsletter every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. BST time. Let's go back to the news and see what's going on here. So we need to move on to Coinbase and talk about what's happening here. So as I said, the second punch of the week, US SEC charges Coinbase with securities law violations. Now, Obviously, Coinbase has been in quite a battle with the SEC within the last couple of months. Coinbase's CEO, Brian Armstrong, has been fighting for clarity of regulation within the US. So the lawsuit comes just one day after the SEC sued Binance and its CEO. So now, in addition to alleged securities violations, the regulator charged Coinbase for failing to register its staking as a service program. So taking a look at this, the SEC has filed a complaint against Coinbase to the US District Court, Southern District of New York. The regulator said, according to the SEC's complaint, since at least 2019, Coinbase has made billions of dollars unlawfully facilitating the buying and selling of crypto asset securities. Now, within this, the SEC have actually named which cryptocurrency assets they've deemed as securities. So they're labeling Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Filecoin, Sandbox, AXS, Chaz, Nexo, Dash, ICP, Flow, NEAR, VGX as securities in the lawsuit. Now, this is a big move forwards that we are seeing here, labeling specific cryptocurrencies as securities. It's something we need to look out for because the issues that we are having with regulation in the US, it all boils down to one thing, and it is pretty simple here, and that is the Howey test. In the US, to determine whether an asset is a security or a commodity, we use the Howey test. This is a test that was created in the 1940s, and the test is essentially 4 conditions, and if an asset meets those 4 conditions, it's a security. If it doesn't, it's a commodity. Now, the problem is the Howey test was made in the 1940s. It doesn't fit on the new cryptocurrency industry. We need some regulation that is made for cryptocurrencies. The industry has grown so much. It's shown its potential. It's shown it's not going away. And we now need to build some regulation around this industry. And yes, we are fighting for regulation. A lot of people are against regulation, but we need regulation in the space. We need cryptocurrency exchanges that are not going to cause problems like FTX did. We want to make sure the cryptocurrency exchanges are running correctly. They don't have any malicious actors in there, and they aren't spending user funds in a way that they shouldn't. So regulation is a good thing for the cryptocurrency industry. But what's not good about regulation is when it is unclear. These cryptocurrency exchanges, Binance and Coinbase, aren't meaning to go against, well, at least we hope so, they aren't meaning to go against the regulation. They don't want to be sued. They want to have adoption. Now, cryptocurrency exchanges will only get adoption if more users come into the cryptocurrency space. First of all, cryptocurrency exchanges, when they get sued, that makes cryptocurrency users leave the platform. Also, it means people that aren't in cryptocurrency yet have more of a reason to not touch it, to not go near cryptocurrency. Both of those things are things that the cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase and Binance do not want to see. They want to have adoption. The more people that use their platforms, the more transaction fees they are paid, and therefore the more income that they make. The more people using their services, the more income that they make. So they don't want these negative headlines. They are trying to follow the regulation, but the regulation is just not clear. There's no clarity around it, and that is something the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, has really been pushing for in the recent months, and obviously now we have these problems ahead of us. Now, the draft bill I mentioned earlier in today's stream that was published over the weekend was showing how we can determine whether a cryptocurrency asset is a commodity or is a security, and whether it should be regulated by the CFTC or by the SEC, and that was a major step forward for cryptocurrency, but obviously that is a draft bill, and when we're looking at the regulation, it's not going to happen overnight. It is going to take time. But we are starting to see some developments with that, or we could feel more positive about this over the weekend and on Monday, but now we are seeing some pushbacks from the SEC as well. So we need to keep an eye on this. It is all really interesting stuff that's going on right now. And although it may be a battle that cryptocurrency comes out on top of. So we need to keep an eye on this and see what's going on here. Before we continue with today's stream, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. So we could see here that crypto expansion and development in the US could halt. So in April, Coinbase's CEO suggested the US firms could seek offshore shelter away from the SEC's jurisdiction without clear and favorable regulations. The Coinbase CEO has been fighting for clear regulations for months, and it's just something that is not happening right now. So these are the problems that we are facing. Let's take a look at the next article here. So the SEC follow-up charges against Binance with a lawsuit against Coinbase. So the SEC's 13 charges against Binance showed how the regulator couldn't have gone again after Coinbase, yet fewer than 24 hours later, Coinbase now faces similar charges. We can see here that they are being allegedly violating securities laws. So we need to keep an eye on this to see what's happening. So we can see here, Palmer explained, we observed that several of the details of the lawsuit that the Commission filed against Binance echo those it previously filed against crypto exchange Bittrex and Kraken. And we believe these cases in aggregate represent a preview of the action that is likely to be filed against Coin. Now, Coin is the ticker for publicly traded exchange Coinbase. However, the SEC going after Coinbase is not a surprise, as the regulator issued a Wells notice to the crypto exchange in March, warning of possible legal action for violating several security laws. So this is what we've been talking about here on the channel. A Wells notice is basically a letter from the SEC saying, look, we're investigating you, expect to be sued in the future. That is basically the long and short of it. So the SEC have said here, after issuing a Wells notice in March, the SEC said the Securities and Exchange Commission today charged Coinbase with operating its crypto asset trading platform as an unregistered national securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency. So the US crypto exchanges have to decide whether to delist digital assets classified as securities or to move out of the region. Now, we have a long list of assets that could be classified as securities. So the lawsuit against Coinbase lists an overlap of some crypto assets with Binance lawsuits, which include CHZ, ICP, NEAR, VGX, Dash, Flow, and Nexo. Now, let's just pick a couple of these and see how this is actually affected the prices of these assets. So let's take a look at Dash, for example. Let's go to cryptosavingexpert.com, and if we search Dash in that search bar there, we can see the different coins that we have. Now, this is up 0.9%. Let's take a look at this. It has seen a strong move to the downside in the last couple of days. Not as significant as I would have expected, though. Let's take a look at can we measure this percentage change? Let's take a look at this. We were sat at around $42.50, and it's only dropped around $3.40, $3.30. So that's really not the negative impact that I was expecting. Let's take a look at what else is going on, though. Let's continue with this and see what else is happening to do with Coinbase here. So we have Bitcoin's V-shaped recovery towards $27,000 suggests traders expect SEC to sue Coinbase. So what it's saying here is this strong move to the upside from Bitcoin is maybe because we already knew there was a Wells notice there. So Bitcoin surged by 8% to a local peak of 27,391 after the SEC announced charges against Coinbase. Bitcoin's V-shaped recovery suggests investors and traders expected the regulator to go after Coinbase after it first sued Binance. So let's quickly take a look at the price of Bitcoin here. We've not got it up on the screen today. Let's see if we can log in quickly. We've seen that strong move to the downside and then that fast move to the upside once again. And analysts are saying maybe this is because the markets already knew. We knew that the SEC were trying to punch us while we were down, and we just went bullish. I'm very happy to see that move to the upside once again. Let's continue with the news today, though. We will come to the price of Bitcoin at the end of today's stream. We've got a few more articles to discuss here. Before we do, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell notification button. Whatever platform you're on, make sure to leave a comment as well, because it really helps the algorithm. And when the algorithm is boosted, it means it shares our content with more people. And when more people hear about what's going on in crypto, they might get involved. And what we all want to see right here in the space is adoption. What we all don't want to see is me clapping down the microphone. That probably was horrible on your ears. Sorry to headphone listeners. Let me have a sip of my coffee this morning. Let's see what else we've got here today. Coinbase ready to fight back SEC in court for clarity on crypto. This is the fight that we all want to see. So the SEC sued Coinbase on Tuesday despite repeated efforts by the exchange to engage the regulator for clarity. So the SEC do not provide clarity on regulation. I've said that about 50 times today, and I will continue to say that. And the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, has been fighting for that clarity. He's wanted to work with the regulators. He said, look, we have people that are involved in the cryptocurrency space. We will work with you to make regulation that allows the industry to continue to grow without stifling that growth, but allows you to provide that clarity for the industry. We want to work together. We want to provide that clarity so that we can all work forwards. We don't want to be working against each other. But we can see here that the SEC have other plans. So we can see here Coinbase ready to fight SEC for clarity on crypto. The regulator sued Coinbase today. Well, this was yesterday. And the SEC's lawsuit came about 2 months after Coinbase had received a Wells notice, which we've just discussed. This is like a notice saying, by the way, we're investigating you. You might be sued later down the line, so this was slightly expected. So we can see Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, has said, instead of publishing a clear rule book, the SEC has taken a regulation by enforcement approach that is harming America. So if we need to avail ourselves of the courts to get clarity, so be it. Now, Coinbase have said before that they are looking to move their focus is onto other regions. Yes, America is its biggest revenue source, but it doesn't always have to be. Brian Armstrong has actually been to the UK and spoke to regulators in the UK and praised the way that regulation works in the UK for cryptocurrencies, because there's not that overlap that we see in the US. In the US, we have the overlap of the CFTC and the SEC. In the UK, we don't have that problem. We have the FCA and they regulate the financial industry, and it just makes that clarity a lot more easier to gain. So we can see here Coinbase suit comes as investors try to grapple with the news of Binance's charges by the same regulator. The SEC unsealed 13 charges against Binance, and the complaint included a claim of misrepresentation of trading controls and oversight of Binance.us. But we have already discussed Binance's charges here. We can also see, though, that Coinbase's suit is different from others. So Armstrong said Coinbase's suit is different from other cases by the SEC, and they will get the job done. So Armstrong has said, in case it's not obvious, the Coinbase suit is very different from others out there. The complaint filed against us is exclusively focused on what is or is not a security. We are confident in our facts and the law. So hopefully the Coinbase can push forward with this. I know that Brian Armstrong is not going to go down without a fight. He has been in the headlines over and over again this year. And I keep saying on this channel, to be honest, before this year, I had no real opinion on him. Now I am a big supporter of the work that he is doing for the cryptocurrency industry. Let's take a look at the next articles here, though, because this is going to talk about the prices of coin. So coin is the ticker for the publicly traded company Coinbase, the cryptocurrency exchange. So we can see here the price has dropped to could drop to $31 due to the SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase. So we can see here on the charts that it has seen a little bit of a big move to the downside. Let's pull it up on TradingView and see what's going on. So we need to type in coin here, a NASDAQ stock. We can see, although it did see a big move to the downside overnight, we did see a green day yesterday. And today we've started off with a pretty green move as well. So pretty exciting things here. You can see the volumes are incredibly high. I'm really interested in seeing how this plays out, because Brian Armstrong, I believe, is not going to go down without a fight. Let's see what else is going on, though. Let's take a look at the next article. I can't read and talk at the same time. Where are we? ETH's 1.8 thousand support holds amidst FUD of the SEC suing Binance and Coinbase. So Ethereum has held its own in the cryptocurrency markets amid back-to-back news of the SEC suing Binance and Coinbase. We will be analysing the price of Ethereum at the end of today's stream. So let's prepare this up and see what's going on here. We have seen a bounce on Ethereum, just like we've seen a bounce on Bitcoin, like we said at the start of today's stream. But we will be discussing that more. Let me just have another sip of my coffee this morning. We have one other article to discuss here, which is the US court tells the SEC to respond to Coinbase's rulemaking petition within a week. Now, this has come out this morning. So the US judge has ordered the SEC to respond to Coinbase's rulemaking petition to explain why it shouldn't. So Coinbase has created a petition to get the US regulators, the SEC, to provide clarity on the regulation, as I've been saying. Now, the petition has been kind of left open-ended here, and the courts have now said to the SEC, you need to respond within a week. You can't go around firing out all of these charges, suing loads of companies, without responding to a petition on when these companies are trying to get regulated, trying to follow the regulation in the correct way, and fighting for clarity on that regulation. So the courts are on our side on that one, but we'll keep an eye on that. I need to close that tab quickly because they are the competition. To get the best cryptocurrency news, please don't forget to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, hit that big blue sign up button at the top, create an account, tick that box there, and press that big sign up button, and you get access to all of the latest cryptocurrency news, up-to-date crypto news, free guides, free cryptocurrency courses, market data, and we've got an encyclopedia added to the top there recently as well, where you can learn about every single word that is in the world of cryptocurrency. There's about 400 or 500 words in there, and I know that because I filmed a video explaining each one of those. I basically recited a dictionary for months of my life to make those videos for the website, so make sure to check that out and make all of my work worth it, and the team's work worth it as well. Obviously, the team have put a lot of effort into all of the content on the website, so make sure to go and take advantage of it. It's completely free. And don't forget as well, while we're on the topic, to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button. Let's move on and talk about what's happening here. So the UK advisor thinks AI could become very powerful in 2 years. So according to Clifford, humans have limited time to regulate and control AI before it gains too much power. Now, if you are interested in AI, I'm aware that this stream is running a bit long. Don't forget to go over to the website, but what's happening here is pretty interesting. This is definitely worth a read. I've been listening to lots of things about AI recently. I'm not sure who here is a fan of Diary of a CEO. He does lots of podcasts, and he's interviewed the recent ex-Google man that was basically did a lot of work towards ChatGPT and OpenAI and creating different AI and the fears that have come with it. And something that I would definitely say is exciting about AI right now, obviously there's a lot of fears surrounding it, how powerful it can become. It's very interesting right now because it can complete so many tasks so much quicker. And there's all these things on TikTok right now which is like, oh, this is how I'm going to make £100,000 in a week. I'm going to use this AI, then this AI, then this AI. And AI can do a lot of stuff for us right now. But I don't think just yet it's the time to be using AI to complete all tasks. I think the people that are going to perform very well within the next couple of months are the people that use AI to help speed up their workflow, but continue to be monitoring all of these tasks all the time. And these are the people that are going to succeed in the next couple of months. I don't think AI is going to be come in and take our jobs right away. I think it's going to be the people that utilize AI that are going to take over some people's jobs right now. But it'll be interesting to see how the AI problems play out and if we can take control of this and regulate it in the correct way. It is pretty frightening at the same time. Let's take a look at the next article though. We have no more, that's not an article. This is the article that we want to be looking at. SEC Chair Gensler says no need for crypto, US dollar already exists. Now, I think you can see by the smirk on my face, this is a pretty strong statement to make. Now, the US dollar, a currency that is monitored by a central authority, is different to Bitcoin, which is decentralized, transparent, and secured by blockchain technology. There are different things here. Bitcoin has a limited supply. The US dollar does not. You can create more dollars. You cannot create more than 21 million Bitcoins. There are fundamental differences between these two assets. You cannot compare the two and go, do you know what? That whole industry, forget it. We've got it sorted with the US dollar. We don't need all of that. Just get rid. Honestly, I just feel like this is such a pointless statement. So Gary Gensler has said there's no need for cryptocurrency. He said, look, we don't need more digital currency. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar. It's called the euro and it's called the yen. They're all digital right now. We already have digital investments. So it seems that he's completely missed the point of blockchain technology. He's also added these trading platforms. They call themselves exchanges, among a number of functions. In traditional finance, we don't see the New York Stock Exchange also operating a hedge fund making markets. The investing public has the benefit of US securities laws. Crypto should be no different, and these platforms, these intermediaries, need to come into compliance. Now, I do understand that cryptocurrency companies and exchanges need to be regulated, but we need clarity on that regulation. That is all we are asking for right now. But moving on from the cryptocurrency news, let me know if the stream is running smoothly. It looks like there could be a couple of problems on my end. If you want to help the stream, hit like. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world of Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum now. Time to analyze the charts. Let's refresh this page. It seems that when you're not logged into TradingView, you can only have one tab open at a time. So let's start with Bitcoin and then we'll move on to Ethereum here. I hate this in light mode. Dark mode all the way for TradingView. Let me know in the comments if you're a dark mode or light mode fan on TradingView. I'd like to know that. So you can see here Bitcoin has moved to the downside and then has seen that big move to the upside again. We are back trading within that range that we were trading in previously. So if we take a look at this, we clearly have, let's go onto the daily chart. This will be even better because we've been in this trading range for so long right now. If we take a look at this, so we can see we definitely have a level of support, which is between these two levels at 26,600, this should be, and 26,900. Now we are back within that range, testing that once again. We've seen so much volatility within the markets right now. It's crazy. If we even take a look at this at a different angle, if we see that we have a level of resistance moving to the downside there, so a declining level of resistance, I should probably say, and then we take a look at, this could be better on the 4-hour chart. Maybe I should have prepared this one. We've got some levels here as well. No, this is actually okay on the daily chart. Let's go back to the daily chart. We have these two sloping levels of resistance as support here. And what does this mean? This means we are in a descending wedge. And what does a descending wedge mean? There's a higher probability of moving to the upside than to the downside. So although we've seen that move to the downside, although the SEC has caused a bit of fear in the industry and caused the markets to dump slightly, it settles up perfectly. We're in a pretty nice chart pattern right now, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. And I'll be updating you on this channel at Crypto Saving Expert. So make sure to give us a like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button. My throat goes so dry on these streams because I just sit and shout at you all for half an hour. Let's take a look at what's going on Ethereum quickly. We can see here that Ethereum, again, it saw some volatility. It did have that strong move to the downside, but overall, it's still not looking too bad. It's seen that big move to the upside once again. We do have that level of support back in place. We definitely have a strong level of support here for Ethereum at $1,790 to $1,800, and we are still sitting above that. So that is making me feel pretty positive about what's going on right now. Let's go back to the market data on Crypto Saving Expert. You can see all in all, it's been a volatile couple of days. Some things are green, some things are red, but we will be keeping an eye on this. So make sure if you are new here to like and subscribe, and I will see you all back here tomorrow with more cryptocurrency news. Hopefully it's a bit more positive, but I will see you all then. Thank you very much for joining us once again.